Hey guys, to Wes here from Yeti Strength. Today we're going to be starting our very first video in our Movement Mastery Monday series. So we're going to be starting off today with a version of a squat called the Goblet squat. So this is a great entry point into being able to squat because the weight is out in front of us. Loads are generally going to be a little bit lighter because the upper body being a restriction here. But the reason that this movement is such a valuable tool is because since the weight is out in front of us, it gives us a little bit of a counterbalance, and it also helps us stay a little more of a stable torso position. And that's usually where people struggle in a squat, with their chest dumping forward, not being able to control some of the global movements that are needed to perform a squat really well. So I'm going to let this video roll here. I kind of have a side view and a front view pulled up for you guys. So I'm going to let this run, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the key things that we're looking for as we go here. So as you see, I'm going to slow it down a little bit. I'm going at half speed. As you guys see the reps going on here, you guys can see on that side view, I'm dropping straight down. My torso stays nice and tall. I'm not leaning my torso over a whole lot. I have a nice stable foot position. The weight stays out in front of me. I'm not letting that dumbbell collapse my chest forward or flare my elbows out a whole lot. And some of the finer points, and I'm going to stop the video as we go here, is I want you to look more specifically on that front view. And I'm going to draw a couple lines here. As you guys can see, my knee is staying right in the middle of my foot. I'm not letting that knee collapse. On that side view, as you can see, I have a nice straight line from all the way from my head all the way to my hips. As I drop it all the way down low, I'm breaking well below parallel with my hips, and I also have a nice stable position through my shins. Now the one real quick thing I want to cover here is you guys hear all the time, I'm sure, about how the knees shouldn't go past the toes on a squat and all that. It might be the case in some people, some people that have prior knee issues, but if you have adequate ankle range of motion and you have a stable foot and you can maintain a stable foot and stable torso throughout your squat, the knees going past the toes is quite a normal movement. And more specifically, if you have longer legs, let me clear some of these lines here. If you have longer legs and a shorter torso, much like myself, you're going to have to let the knees go past your toes. Otherwise, I'm going to be tilted way forward through my torso, and that can lead to a lot more unwanted stress through the lower back. So again, to recap, a couple key points to remember in a goblet squat is keeping the knees out so that the knees aren't collapsing in towards the big toe, knees staying right in the middle of your foot. That torso position staying nice and tall and over the hips, breaking parallel below the hip crease, and maintaining a nice stable foot position to control all of that. All right, so I'm going to let that play in normal speed one time for you guys real quick, as you guys can see how the reps look in real speed. And you guys can see, I think that looks pretty good. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop us some comments down below. We'll be happy to get back to you guys. And as we move on through the series, you guys are going to see how we progress some of these movement patterns and turn them into more advanced exercises where you're going to be able to get a lot more loading into them, and the positions are going to be a little more harder to control. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys.